Oh shit, boy. Yes, it is time for the final video in the office, brev. Now, I'm gonna hold my hands up because one thing I want to tell you is you cannot grow without taking accountability and responsibility for your actions. The last 2 months have been up there with the worst couple of months in recent memory for me. Maybe in the last 4 years. And the reason for that is I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting for a fucking visa. And do you know what? I put all of my happiness in being in Australia. I was like, I will be happy when I am sat meditating on Bondi Beach, watching the sun rise, thinking, oh yeah. And I'll probably cry when I get to that point because, you know, that's a bit of me. But this whole time, I could have been happy now. And it is with great regret, actually, that I haven't made the decision. I'm going to probably post this tomorrow, but it's today, but it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am booking a flight. And the visa might come in. It probably won't. It might come in tomorrow, but if not, man is flying to Bali early next week. And as you can see, the last couple of days, I just can't believe it. Honestly, I can't fucking believe it. My whole mentality and mindset has shifted because I've placed all of my happiness in Australia when the reality is my happiness, one of my core values is freedom. And I have been putting myself in a cage for absolutely no reason. And I could have made the decision to go to Bali 8 weeks ago when I started to feel quite uncomfortable about being at home. Now that is not because home has been shit. I have been on many a holiday. I've been to maybe 5-6 countries in Europe in the time. I've seen my friends and my families, which I haven't been able to do in 3.5 years. So it has been mint. But 8 weeks ago, it was sort of at the time where I was like, right, I'm ready to bounce now. But in my head, I was like, nah, I need to wait for this visa. What if I go to Bali and then the visa comes in the next day? I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm going to want to go straight to Australia. It'll be a waste of money. The reality is, I don't need to move to Australia as soon as I get the visa. You get me? So tomorrow's exciting day, lads. Tomorrow's exciting day because man's going to be going to be booking the flight. And it's something I should have done ages ago. Something for me that I've been craving since, when was it? Probably early April. Early April, I wanted to do a solo trip. And I did do a solo trip, but it was only for 23 hours because I went to the Gold Coast on my own, planned to stay there for a week, just to get in my own head. And sometimes I think you just need to be away from everyone to find out what's important to you, get some creative juices going, and then you can get back into your rhythm. But unfortunately, one of my mates decided to leave Australia and tell me the day I flew to the Gold Coast that he was going to do that. I love him to bits, so obviously the next day I flew straight back to see him off in style. Yes, I did cry when he left, but that does not matter. So this trip has been needed for a long time. Next week, early next week, I will be flying to Bali, and I just want to again reiterate that the lack of accountability and responsibility for my actions is that it actually makes me a bit sick because I've been playing the victim. For fuck's sake, my visa agent, shit. Why the fuck is it taking so long? Why is this happening to me? Excuse. But the reality is you can't control what you can't control. And the whole time I've been able to control whether or not I go to Bali or not. And I haven't done it. What kind of first world problem is that? Oh yeah, sweet. I will go to Bali and work there until the visa comes in. 30-degree heat. As you can see, it has got a bit nippy in the UK. So fuck it. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the fucking day. I am really excited to get away, to be in my own head. And I feel like the last couple of months have been just so un-Nathan Joseph. Like, I have placed my happiness on places and things that are just out of reach at the minute. And whilst I've been doing that, it's been impossible to be happy. So in Bali, I am literally gonna just aim to get back to this constantly, this good energy, this buzz, because life is too fucking short to be miserable, you get me? So yeah, what's the plan when I'm in Bali? Well, obviously, as you know, man's not drinking, still not drinking, but I remember, and I sort of manifested it, I believe in that shit, when I was in a corporate job in London. I used to say, what do I want my life to look like? And it would always be, I just wanted to be able to like train like an athlete. I'm never going to be an athlete, but I want to train like an athlete. So the plan in Bali is sunrises, sunsets, and in between, obviously I'm going to work like a dog, because that brings me a lot of happiness rather than pleasure. And I'm going to be cutting out a lot of pleasure whilst I'm in Bali as well, and I want to touch on that. For example, I'm not drinking, because drinking gives me a lot of pleasure. I like getting pissed. I love a fucking Guinness. But also then the pleasure is over once the drinking stops, then you deal with the hangover. Whereas I'm going to be aiming for happiness, which is just deep diving into work and growth for myself. So the plan is I will be just training in the morning, weights. Then obviously gonna be getting massages every day. No happy endings because I'm not a fucking weirdo. Then work through the day, eat fucking unbelievable food, chill out in 30-degree heat. Jiu-jitsu in the afternoon. There's 2 gyms that I'm gonna join, and obviously I haven't jitzed in ages. So it's just gonna be like a fucking wholesome trip, and I don't know how long I'm going to be there. I spoke to one of my mates in Australia the other day, and I basically said to him, if I enjoy it, mate, don't expect to see me too soon, you get me? So I'm going to stay there until I've not achieved what I want to, but I feel in a good headspace. I'll know when I'm ready to leave, and that's when I will. So yeah, it's very exciting times for me personally, because it is a new adventure. And sometimes I think to myself, what is my core values? Like, what do I love to do? And I love to experience new shit. And I've been on holiday to Bali twice, but I've never booked a one-way flight and then thought, do you know what? Fuck it, let's see where this takes me. It is honestly out of my comfort zone as well. So this is probably excitement, but nervous energy as well, because I don't know anyone there. And that doesn't bother me. As I say, I like being alone. I'm not a weirdo, but yeah, I like just being in my own headspace. I don't really need to interact. I've got a phone, so if I need to speak to people, it's called FaceTime and shit like that. But now I'm just buzzing, because I've done 4 months in the UK. I did a month around Europe and other places in the UK. But yeah, now it's time. Now it is time, and fuck knows when I'll be back in the UK. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to fall in love with Bali and live there for the rest of my days. Maybe my visa comes within a week, and then I think, do you know what, a week in Bali was enough. But I doubt it will be. And what's the rush to get back to Oz? The weather's shit, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to enjoy the sun. This year I've been very privileged. I did summer in Australia and then a little bit of autumn, came back to the UK, done a little bit of spring, and then summer, and now I'm bouncing to Bali. And I feel the overriding feeling right now is I'm just grateful to myself, you know, because if I didn't fucking put myself out there and say no to the corporate world a couple of years ago, this would not be possible. And I think this situation would have been more daunting to me at the moment, because I'd be stuck in the UK going to a job that I don't really like doing, whereas I can move my job anywhere. And as I say, I've put this cage around me for too long now. So yeah, tomorrow flights will be booked, accommodation will be booked, and off we go. New adventures. And what I will say as well is I will be fucking vlogging a lot more I know I went through a phase of like doing it every day, and I actually really enjoyed that. But then the old headspace, you know, it kind of went a bit Pete Tong over the last month or so, because I was like, this visa's gotta come, oh my God. But it didn't. So that's also my fault, and I'm taking full responsibility for that. Because if you're not taking responsibility for your actions again, you're a fucking idiot, and you're going to keep performing the same actions over and over again and continue to fail. You're going to continue to fail. So stop that, look at yourself and think, what the fuck can I change about me to make sure this doesn't happen again? And that is what I'm doing. I will never put myself in this cage again. And do you know what? If I do feel restless, like I have been, if I do feel like I'm stuck somewhere, I'm going to bounce. That's the lesson I've learned. It's been a hard lesson to learn, but Nathan Joseph the bitch is no more. Tomorrow, flights are going to get booked. As I say, absolute gratitude to be around my mum, my family, my friends, some of them OGs, done know. But this year has been very difficult in terms of the things that have happened within my family, getting kicked out of Oz, blah, blah, blah. Few events, do you know what I mean? So, in my head though, there's 3.5 months left. 3.5 months left of 2022. So you best believe it's going to be a fucking amazing year from this point out, because I've been a bitch and I'm not having it. Fucking not having it. So there we go. That is 12 minutes of your life that you're not going to get back. As I say, I'm not going to be recording any more content until I get to Bali, and then it's just going to be relentless is the only word that I can describe it as, because this is what I love to do, you know, day in, day out. I don't know why. I used to fucking hate public speaking, if this is what you want to call it, or talking to a camera, but now it really gives me a little tingling sensation down there, do you know what I mean? I love it. So do more of what you love. I will see you in Balinese, and I know it's Indonesia, but do you know what I mean? It's nice to trigger some people sometimes, get them a bit worked up. Anyway, I'm rambling. Apologies for not turning up as I said I would. That's a trait that I hate. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Hence why I'm doing this as well, because accountability. Imagine me making this video and not going to Bali. So yeah, off we go. Well, I still might not go because the visa could come in tomorrow, but it's not gonna. So Balinese getting booked tomorrow, which is today, but tomorrow. Much love. I will vlog when I'm settled in the Bali. Can't wait. Honestly, can't wait. What a difference a day makes, eh? What a difference a fucking day makes.